We are in Ghent. This is a beautiful town, a little bit north of Brussels. It's beautiful, quaint, and there are lots of things to do and see here.
If you're staying in Brussels, it's so easy to get here to Ghent. The train takes less than about an hour and trains run almost all around the block.
Right here in the historical center of Ghent, you can still see the beautiful buildings, beautiful churches, bell towers, and much more. Ghent has a unique vibe because it is a home to a big college, so it is a little bit of a college town as well.
Gravensteen, or Castle of the Counts here in Ghent, originally dates back to the 1100s. Over the years, the castle has been repurposed several times. It's been a court, a prison, a mint, and even a cotton factory. This is the first castle that we've ever explored in Europe.
This is a medieval toilet. There's a hole inside there in the rock. Here's the hole. There's actually a sign above the hole that specifically instructs any tourists to actually not use this as a real toilet. That's hilarious. One of the highlights of Ghent is where we are. This is the Gravensteen. The English name for it is the Castle of the Counts. They have an audio tour in multiple languages, including English. It guides you through every room and explains what each room was used for. Some of the more interesting rooms were the rooms that were used for executions and torture. There was this one room in particular that housed plenty of executions, and the audio tour explains the top 5 executions that took place there. It can get pretty gruesome, actually.
Here we are in 2022 walking through the castle, learning all about its history, what each room was used for, and to think about people at that time and what was really happening. We're touring these rooms, learning about, some pretty scary things that happened, but to actually think about, the very place that we're standing, what happened, is pretty mind-blowing.
This castle is one of the very few castles in this part of Europe that still has its own moat, which you can see out of those tiny windows. And now people seem to come here to kayak in the moat. We've came a long way since the medieval era.
I'm just taking some selfies.
Look how giant these doors are. Doors to the castle.
And to think they didn't have remote control doors back then.
Someone had to pull and push that thing. This is the Church of St. Nicholas. It was built in the 13th century, and it's a great example of what's called shelled Gothic style.
Typical of this style, this church is built of a blue-gray stone. It has one very tall tower in the middle and turrets on each of the corners.
I'm a huge fan of the mixture between the white colors and the black colors. It's probably one of my favorite altars I've seen so far. So elaborate.
The Belfry of Ghent is 298 feet tall, and it overlooks the old city of Ghent. It's actually one of 3 medieval towers that overlooks the old city. Its height of 298 feet actually make it the tallest tower in all of Belgium. At the very, very top of the tower, there's a golden dragon, and that's something that's very distinct to this particular bell tower. Next thing is to go up the clock tower.
Totally worth it to come up here. And you can see all the other landmarks. We are looking at St. Nicholas Church, the Castle of the Counts as well. This is an LED flat screen TV from the medieval era. This is the Cathedral of St. Bavo. Inside it's very grand and very ornate. It was built between the 13th and the 16th centuries. It took 3 centuries to build.
The cathedral is known for its altarpiece, which was actually made in the 15th century.
It was made with a mixture of 2 styles, Baroque and Rococo. On the outside, the church has a Gothic style, but the inside, it's a mixture of Rococo and Baroque. One of the most popular activities you can do here in Ghent is taking a boat tour through the canals of Ghent. It's very fun. It takes you through all of the highlights of Ghent that you need to see. And usually the tours are delivered in multiple languages. English, Dutch, French, at least. Sometimes German.
Did you make that up?
Yeah.
Okay. You can just cut that part out.
Alles tussen deze 2 bruggen links. Ici à gauche, l'ancienne maison de guilde des marchands de vin du XVIIIe siècle. Tandis que les marchands de bière avaient d'ailleurs dans ce type de bière vanaf de 14e eeuw kwam de bar dus weer naar boven. Want dit werd de rijkdom en de gevangenis van het graafschap. Daarom wint zich daar een specifieke spot op.